Hello friends and welcome to the Southern Mountain Kitchen. Today we're making chicken and dumplings. So to make this, you're going to start off with some cooked chicken. What I had was 3 breasts, which I coated in olive oil and salt and pepper, and then I put in the oven at 375 degrees for about 30 minutes. So that way it's cooked through. Then I pulled it out, let it cool, and cut it into smaller pieces. So that way, technically there's about 3 cups worth of this that's going to go into the chicken and dumplings. And you just want to make sure you cut these up at decently smaller pieces. You don't want huge pieces that are going to go into this. So we're going to go from this to a large pot, which we are putting in at least 32 ounces of chicken broth. And then to this you're going to add a can of cream of chicken soup. And then to this you're adding about a half a teaspoon of poultry seasoning and somewhere in the neighborhood of about a half a teaspoon of chicken bouillon. And we're going to mix this up. Turn the temperature up on this because we want this to bring up to a boil at a certain point here. We just want to stir and try to incorporate everything together as this is warming up. Now as you continue to stir, the soup mix will actually break up because it is a condensed thing, so it needs to get a little bit of warmth into the liquid to actually break it up. So as you stir, add in the chicken and do everything later, it will break up into an even sauce. It won't be like lumps all through this. So now that you mix it up quite a bit, the temperature is starting to come up, we're going to add our chicken into this. So go ahead and add all of the chicken that you cut up, which should have been about 3 cups worth. Now, I use chicken breast on this. If you wanted to use other kind of chicken, if you wanted to use like thighs or whatever, you probably could use that. That's your choice. It all depends on the type of chicken that you like. So once this is all in, we're going to stir it up, get it going around because we're waiting to bring the temperature up to a boil on this before we start thinking about making the dumplings that go in. At this point, you have your seasonings all in place in here to give this a great taste. So right now at this point, it's just basically letting it simmer together. Now, for your dumplings, you can make biscuits from scratch and cut them up and make them from the dough to make the dumplings, or you can get canned biscuits like Grands or something like that. All you need to do is take it when you cut your biscuits out, flatten them down, and take something like, I'm using a pizza cutter, and I'm going across it a few times to break these into smaller pieces. And that basically is going to make your dumpling. It's that easy. So just take it, flatten it, and then once you've got it flattened out, cut it across several times, and then go through the center once, and you're going to have your cuts. And these make decent sized dumplings when they cook up. So go through and do that continuously till you use up all your dough, and then once your soup is actually starting to boil here for the chicken and dumplings, you want to go ahead and add in the dumplings a few at a time. You don't want to just dump them all in at once because we want to make sure that the hot liquid goes around the outside of it to actually kind of start sealing them in a little bit so they don't stick together. You will need to stir this the whole time that this is cooking, because if you don't, the dumplings will stick together. So get them in a few at a time until you get them into the pot, and make sure they all are coated in the liquid. And then take something like a spatula and stir it up, because you're going to want to cook this for at least 10 to 15 minutes just to make sure that everything is cooked through. If you notice your dumplings have not set up at about 15 minutes, or you haven't gotten the liquid hot enough, you could go up to 20 minutes of cooking this. I'd say check it in around the 15-minute range, and that way you'll know. And when you're done, it comes out looking something like this, and this has an amazing taste, and it's so great, and there's a lot of this you can feed a whole family. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and if you have a minute, check out my cookbook, which is available on Amazon and in bookstores worldwide. Have a great day.